Welcome to this explainer. Okay, so today we're diving straight into something super fascinating, the invisible sensory forces that literally drive what you and I decide to buy. Have you ever wondered why you consistently reach for one specific brand over a nearly identical competitor? Well, we are mapping out the precise blueprint that top-tier companies use to capture not just your attention, but your total loyalty, all by targeting your basic human senses. Seriously, why do you choose one product over another? Imagine you're staring down a massive store aisle, processing dozens of options at lightning speed. When the functional differences between those products are incredibly subtle, what really guides your hand to the shelf? You might think it's pure logic, but according to industry experts, it really isn't. It's actually your senses secretly nudging you toward the best option in this completely subconscious process that totally bypasses your rational brain. And what's wild about this is that the exact same sensory principles influence your choice of a high-end luxury car and, literally, a simple roll of everyday paper towels. Whether we're talking about expensive wine, kids' toys, or basic household stuff, the underlying psychology of how we perceive things and make choices remains remarkably consistent. Brands across vastly different industries are relying on the exact same toolkit to make sure you pick them. So to us, an exclusive one-day deep dive designed specifically for industry insiders. We're talking marketers, brand managers, and R&D specialists. And I keep the group size strictly between 8 and 20 people. That way, these professionals get totally hands-on experience, developing the actual skills they need to differentiate their products from competitors in the real world. The entire foundation of this premium course boils down to a concept called emotional branding. This is all about building a brand based on a consumer's deepest emotions, needs, and aspirations. The ultimate goal here is to use sensory stimuli to trigger emotional responses so intensely that they actually mirror the feeling of falling in love. I mean, that is the true, undeniable power of sensory marketing. To really pull this off, brands know they have to leverage the complete human sensory ecosystem. Our 5 senses completely shape our perception of a product. Just relying on a cool visual logo? Yeah, that doesn't cut it anymore. Without a fully rounded, multi-sensory approach, even the most expensive marketing campaigns run the risk of going entirely unnoticed. Looking at the actual schedule for the day, you can see how systematically they break this down. They kick off with sensory marketing basics at 9 a.m., dive straight into smell at 10, hearing at 11, sight at 1 p.m., taste at 2, and wrap up with touch at 2:30. It's an incredibly structured framework for building a shared sensory language across a whole company. All right, starting with smell and taste. The participants learn how these specific senses trigger really profound emotional responses, which is absolutely crucial if you're selling food or fast-moving consumer goods. The workshop experts teach techniques to deeply engage us, because when a scent or flavor hits just right, it translates directly into positive brand recall. And locking yourself into a customer's memory is step 1 for securing their long-term loyalty. Then we move into the physical realm. Experts know that auditory and tactile elements, like the specific sound of a wrapper crinkling or the textured touch of premium packaging, can subconsciously dictate how high quality a product feels. This physical experience is a massive differentiator. When you pick something up, how it feels in your hands and the sound it makes, totally engineered to win you over. And of course, vision is what ties this entire design ecosystem together. But it's not just about looking pretty. Specific colors are chosen to literally dictate consumer mood and influence how we perceive the product as a whole. By keeping this visual consistency incredibly strict across all their marketing, brands build a cohesive experience that really fosters deep-rooted loyalty. When you put this whole day of training together, you get what they call the business value pipeline. It's pretty straightforward. Step 1, activate the senses. Step 2, use that engagement to build a robust emotional connection. And step 3, watch that emotional bond translate into increased loyalty, recommendations, and actual sales. This massive return on investment is exactly why companies happily pay for this kind of training. And the participant feedback totally proves these strategies work. Companies are reporting that applying this stuff has delivered measurable sales results and amazing customer reactions. By learning how to design better sensory experiences, these marketing teams walked away with concrete tools that fundamentally changed how they communicate with us. Just look at the quote, their campaigns are now way more engaging and memorable. So, as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a thought. The next time you're at the store, reaching for some totally mundane item, pause for a second. Was grabbing that specific brand really a purely logical choice based on price and utility? Or did the rough texture of the box, the exact shade of the label, and the subtle snap of the lid secretly make the decision for you? Keep your senses sharp out there, and thanks so much for joining me today.